kind of put that front and center for everybody, and thankfully that's kind of draws people in. They like the bottle, and then like they see the illustration,
story,
what it is, and so we have all those elements that has helped us kind of become one of the tequilas that people pay attention to at the shelf, because that's the real battle.
We are back at the Art of Alcohol here with Venture Cafe. This is the Bourbon Friday show. I'm Nick Niehaus. I'm talking to Marco from 3R. Did I get it close?
Yes.
Okay, I was close enough. I'm happy about that. So,
correct.
This is your tequila. Tell us a bit about it.
Yes, well, like you said, the name is 3R.
Okay.
And the reason that it's called 3R is because I made this tequila, let's say, in honor of my late grandfather. His name was Rafael Roman Rodarte.
Okay.
So he was a cattle rancher, and all the cattle, he branded it with the 3 and the R, right?
Oh, cool.
So I just decided to use that name, and then there was we like to say it was kind of a family legend, where they would say that back in 1949, my grandfather stole my grandmother by horse. So that's why we put that's why you see the illustration in the bottle, just all because of that. Kind of put that front and center for everybody, and thankfully that's kind of draws people in. They like the bottle, and then like they see the illustration, story, what it is, and so we have all those elements that has helped us kind of become one of the tequilas that people pay attention to at the shelf, because that's the real battle. Being at the shelf, and then, hey, look at that bottle, I like it. Oh, look at the illustration. Oh, that's cool. Oh, look at the story. Nice combination. So that's been a really good help for us.
Yeah, so have you found a lot of people have kind of just found it on the shelf? Is that part of how you're discovered?
Yes and no. I mean, it's a lot of the time it's doing tastings.
Of course, you got to get out and let people try it.
At the stores, and I think it's really important for us to just tell the story, and then what they find out that I'm actually the grandson, and this kind of family thing, they actually like that part, and of course, having the tequila taste really good helps a lot.
That's
right?
That's the gets the repeat business, right?
If I didn't have that, then I would be doing something else.
Of course,
completely. Yeah.
Well, so let's talk. Well, maybe we should pour some first so we can try it, because we want to obviously give it a little try here. But as you're pouring it, why don't you tell us a little bit about what is in the bottle here?
Sure thing. I mean, this is what is considered a lowland tequila.
Okay.
If you're familiar with tequilas, you only get 2 types, highland and lowland.
Okay.
And the difference is just how high hasn't been growing the agave.
Okay. So we're talking altitude.
Altitude,
right? Okay.
Correct.
Yep.
Highland is anything above 6,000 feet of elevation.
Oh wow, that's pretty high. I mean, that's
and
basically in the mountains is what that would be, or
correct.
Okay.
And the main difference is because of the agave gets more rain.
Yeah.
So the plants grow a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So it gets more sugar content. So that's why highland tequilas are going to be a little bit more sweet compared to a lowland tequila.
Okay.
And if you smell it and taste this one, it's going to give you a little bit of earthy notes.
Oh yeah.
You're going to smell also, lowlands are known for having a strong agave aroma.
Yeah. Well, you tried it first. What do you think?
I really like this. Yeah. I'm not much of a tequila drinker.
Let's say you're a bourbon guy. So
I'm not much of a tequila drinker, but
what strikes you about
a lot of it's just super clean.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. That is.
And a lot of people that have seen me out for Bourbon Friday or wherever, I don't drink a lot of bourbon outside of the show because we're having that event and we're drinking bourbon the entire time.
You drank plenty of bourbon already by then.
2 hours or of drinking bourbon. So I often, whether it's gin or something else, I'm always looking for something else to try. And then also, I got into bourbon a lot because there's so much to learn because it's such a historic thing in this country that I do still like to learn about other spirits, whether it's gin or tequila or that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, one of the things that also helps is just following a traditional process. Of course, we don't use what is called a taona, which is, like if you've seen like the big stone wheel with the donkey pulling it to smash the agave.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We actually use a shredder machine.
Okay.
And that's mainly used to get all of the juice from as much as possible.
Okay.
Because you don't maximize the output from when you're using a taona, though. There's a special place for a taona because you get actually a distinctive taste when it comes to doing that.
The process affects the
exactly,
flavor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the big deal breaker for me when it comes to tequila is when somebody decides to use what is called an autoclave, which is kind of a pressure cooker compared to a traditional oven.
Interesting.
So the only difference is speed, but then you can actually taste the difference at the end. So to me, that's really important, and always sticking to like that specific cooking. I mean, I don't mind so much that we use let's call it industrial shredder just to destroy the agave, because the important part of it was just like cooking it right and then get all the juices out so that you actually ferment it naturally. And that's another big step, because the fermentation is also slow. It takes up to 96 hours, which helps a lot. And then that's what you get at the end. I mean, a smooth tequila that a lot of people just, the fact that I have experiences with people that don't usually drink tequila,
clean,
drink this, and they
soft.
even go to the store to buy something else, but they end up leaving with this bottle instead of what they were actually trying to buy.
Wow. Okay. Well, so what is the goal when you're making a really high end or good tequila? Are you looking for like smoothness or a flavor? Or kind of what are you aiming for with your process there?
When it comes to tequila, it's all about just give people the full expression of what tequila really is. Because let's be honest, I mean, there's a lot of tequilas in the market.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are good. Don't get me wrong, I have my own favorites that I actually drink.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is the best in the world, because that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's just
all preference, right? Yeah.
It's all preference, it's subjective. It's all about the taste that you have. I mean, heck, I've had people that tell me, I love Jose Cuervo. Like, okay, man.
Their own, right?
Nobody's perfect. I mean, given the fact that even Jose Cuervo has good tequilas, but he was talking about Jose Cuervo Especial, and I'm like, okay, either you lost all sense of taste.
This is not that in any.
But it happened, right? It was like you just have to say it, like, and even when I run into people that I love Patron. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of people in the tequila industry that actually criticizes those people, like, you don't know tequila because you drink Patrona. Hey, how can you know if that's the only thing that they've ever tasted? So of course they're gonna like it.
Yeah, sure.
But if you give them something like this, that you know what? I didn't know that there were more options, or like something more smoother than Patron.
Right, and that's something I often talk about in bourbon is a lot of people will ask me, well, what's your favorite? And I'm like, my response is, well, for what?
Yes.
What is my favorite? Sitting in a dive bar. What is my favorite? Hanging out, having a special thing by a campfire. What is my favorite bourbon for what thing?
Correct.
Is very important.
Yes. Definitely.
Well, and so that leads to kind of my last question for you is like, what kind of mixed drink would you suggest for this?
You know what? One drink that I like to do a lot is just experimented by myself.
Okay.
I sometimes just throw a little bit of agave nectar into this.
Okay.
And then I found some bitters, like from Scrappy Bitters that I've tried, like the lime ones.
Okay.
Or the chocolate one, actually. Goes really well. And just drinking it like that is really cool. But of course, one of my favorites is, like, especially in the summer, it's called the Matador.
Okay.
It just has like tequila, just orange juice, and basic stuff. It's simple to make.
Yeah.
And of course, the skinny margarita with this and agave nectar is just perfect.
All right. Well, I'm gonna write all those down after we're done talking, because those all sound amazing. This is delicious.
Yes.
Marco, thanks so much for joining us.
Cheers.
Eric, thanks for being here all night. I appreciate you riding along as we go. And for those of you tuning in, I think we have one more conversation coming to you. We're so extending things a little bit. Please join us again here at the Art of Alcohol. We'll be back in just a couple seconds. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching. We truly hope you enjoyed it. Please like and share this episode, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. To stay up to date, follow us on social. We are at Bourbon Fridays on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. See you next time.